Welcome back. So in the last video, we learned about polar points and we talked about how you can convert from the rectangular system to the polar system. And today that's what we're gonna do. So on page 4, we have some formulas. So instead of going from X to Y, we're going to go back and forth between x, y, and r and theta. So you need to know how to get r and theta. Here's the equation to get r. It's Pythagorean theorem because right triangle. And then here's the formula for theta because we know that tangent is y over x. However, these aren't in the form r equals and theta equals. So here is r equals. If I'm gonna put it into theta equals, I would need to bring tangent to the other side, so it becomes tangent inverse of y over x, okay? So that's how you get radius and theta. Now, if you want y and x, we use sine and cosine, but they solve for us, so there's y and x. Okay, so first let's look at, I'm gonna give you the rectangular points and we're gonna convert into polar. So I gave you x and y, you're gonna give me r and theta. The first thing you're gonna wanna pay attention to is what quadrant it is in, because that's how we can check our answer. So if I was gonna plot right 3, up 3, that's quadrant 1. If we're gonna plot right 2, up 2 pi over 3, that's still quadrant 1. 0, -2, that's that line between quadrant 3 and quadrant 4. And then left and up, that's quadrant 2. Okay, so this will be the way that we kind of check our answers in the end to make sure that they're in the right quadrant. So let's start by doing the radius. Okay, so the radius is the square root of x squared plus y squared. So square root of x squared plus y squared. Okay, so 3 squared plus 3 squared, 9 plus 9 is sister 18. So that's gonna be the square root of 18, which simplifies to 9 times 2, so 3 root 2. So there's my radius. Let's figure out theta, because I need r and theta to do this. So theta is going to be the tangent inverse of y over x. So for us, that's 3 over 3. Well, let's simplify that because we know that 3 over 3 is 1. So I'm gonna go on my unit circle and figure out where is the tangent 1. Where do you divide the two numbers to get 1? So one of the spots is pi over 4. The other spot is where they're both negative, so 5 pi over 4. Okay, but I can't have two answers. This is where the quadrant is important. Which one of these is in quadrant 1? Pi over 4. So we're not going to use this one. So my answer is 3 root 2 pi over 4. Any questions? Wow, good. So fun. Let me do a little squiggle squaggle. Okay, the next one, let's do the same thing. Let's find the radius. So let's do r equals square root of 2 squared plus 2 root 3 squared. Okay, so you could type that in your calculator. What is 2 squared plus 2 root 3 squared? I don't have a calculator. Okay, so that's 4 plus 4 times 3 is 12. So 16, did I make that up? Check in your calculator. Make sure that's right. So if it's the square root of 16, that means the radius is 4. Woohoo, that seems right to me. Let's find theta. So the tangent inverse of y over x. Well, if you'll notice, the 2's can cancel out when I simplify. So it's just root 3 over 1. Now, last time we found both, but I'm going to be strategic this time because I know I'm only needing to look in quadrant 1. So where is the y root 3 and the x 1? Ooh, right here. So pi over 3. So my answer is 4 pi over 3. Yay! Okay, number 3 is my favorite because it's the easiest. First, let's find r. So square root of 0 squared plus -2 squared. So that's just the square root of 4, which is 2. Okay, now theta. Theta is really easy because you only have one spot you can look at. This is on the line between quadrant 3 and quadrant 4. Well, that's right here. So you know your answer is already 3 pi over 2. You can solve if you want, but there's only one spot that that's available at. So my answer is 3 pi over 2. Okay, y'all try the last one on your own and then play the video to check your answer. So everybody pause. Did you pause? I don't think you paused. You're being a cheater. Make sure you pause. Some of you are liars. I'm trying to find my answer before I do this. I don't have an answer. Okay, it's fine. Okay, welcome back. Yay, let's check our answer. Okay, radius is the square root -4 root 3 squared plus 4 squared. So you type that in your calculator and you get the square root of, let me practice. So that's 16 times 3. Oh my gosh. That's 48 plus 16. That's the square root of 64, which is 8. Okay, theta. We're doing the tangent inverse of 4 over -4 root 3, which you said simplified to -1 over root 3. And you're only looking in quadrant 2. So y over x, 1 over -root 3, is 5 pi over 6. So your answer to this problem was 8, 5 pi over 6. Woohoo! Okay, so that's how you go from rectangular to polar. On the next page, let's go the other way. Okay. So we have all these polar coordinates. We are going to use the same formulas that we have here, but instead of getting r and theta, we want x and y. So I'm going to be using these two. So let's find sister x first. So x, that formula says r cosine theta. Remember, this is r and this is theta. So -2 cosine pi. So that's -2 times, let's figure out what is the cosine of pi. So I'm going to go to pi, cosine's the x value, so -1. -2 times -1 is +2. So there's my x value. For my y value, I'm doing r sine theta. So -2 sine theta. That's -2 times. The sign at pi is 0. -2 times 0 is 0. So my answer, 2, 0. Easy enough? I think so. Let's do another. So x is r cosine theta. So 3 cosine 135. So 3 times, I'm going to go to 135. That's right here. And the cosine is -√2/2. So that's -3√2/2. And nothing simplifies there. Let's do the same thing for y. But sine. So the y value at 135 was a positive √2/2. So our answer is the same thing, just positive. And then put it together for your final answer. Here's your x value, here's your y value. Dunsies. Let's do one more together and then you can practice number 4. Okay, x value, r cosine theta. So -5 cosine 240. -5 times, I'm gonna go to 240. The cosine is -1/2. So negative times negative is positive. 5/2 doesn't simplify. Y value, same thing, but sine. So -5 times, at 240, the y value is -√3/2. 2 negatives make a positive, but nothing simplifies. So my answer, 5/2, 5√3/2. Yay! Okay, y'all try number 4 before watching me do it. So pause the video and try yourself some number 4, and then you can check your answer with me when you press play. Play! Welcome back. So let's check our answer. So you did r cosine theta. The x value there was √3/2. So you got 4√3/2, but 4/2 simplifies to 2. And then for your y value, you did the same thing, but sine. And you got 4 times 1/2, which is just 2. So your answer was 2√3/2. Yay! I want you to keep practicing in the 2 sections down below here. They also want you to practice plotting your points again, so make sure you're doing that. And when you convert to polar, don't forget to check what quadrant you're in. So go ahead, have a good time practicing, check your work on Schoology, and talk to a neighbor. If you're getting stuck, you're getting confused, ask a neighbor. Maybe somebody was sitting beside you totally gets it. Bye.